Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Um, for those of you that have been attending my classes, you know that the place that I come from when teaching yoga is in the context that yoga is much more than what we see from the outside, that the physical poses and the movement is not what it's about. That's part of the process. But that what the original intent of yoga is to help us reveal our authentic self. We, especially here in the Western world, tend to identify with stuff, with things that are exterior to us. One of the first things, of course, is with family and relationships, and then possessions. You know, our home, our car, and activities. You know, of course, one of the most common questions you'll get when you first meet someone is, what do you do? And that's a kind of an insipid question. I mean, it's unanswerable, really. And of course, the mind usually goes to what is my job? What is my vocation? But that's just an indicator of how we tend to apply labels to ourselves and others based on this external persona that we interact with in the world. Now that persona is very helpful. I mean, we are a divine entity, a soul, a spirit, the Atman. There are a lot of different words for it in different spiritual traditions and religions. But overlying that is this personality, this ego that we use to interface with the physical world. We have this physical body, which is of the material world, but it operates on divine principles. None of us knows how to digest a burrito. Not really. Not really. It's the divine intelligence that is inherent within us that manages our biology. And the energetic aspect of this biological entity, according to Vedanta or the yogic tradition, is called prana. There's prana with a capital P, which is this divine energy, this access to a higher plane of intelligence that knows how to digest a burrito. Okay. And then that prana with a big P differentiates into different types of prana with a little p in the body. And the most common thing or most common way that prana it comes up in a yoga classes is through breathing. It's called pranayama, because it's quite obvious that when the way that we breathe changes our energy level. But that prana becomes a doorway. The prana that's manifesting in the body becomes a doorway through which we can experience the prana with a big P. Okay, that divine energy. As much as we know about what happens in the body from a chemical and a biomechanical standpoint, we still don't know how, all right? Neurologists keep searching in the brain to find who's flipping the switches, and there's nobody there, you know. It's this other level of unmanifest intelligence in many religions, at least in the Judeo-Christian belief system. You know, the soul comes in through the crown of the head and then animates the body. And the Indian version of that is quite similar too. And then of course it comes down and then little by little builds the chakras as we grow up. And then as an adult, we have this energetic system now from the lower chakras, which connect us to the earth, to the upper chakras, which connect us to the divine. So yoga is about managing that system so that we can elevate our consciousness. The way I look at chakras is there are 7 layers of consciousness, from the densest to the most ethereal. And unfortunately, you know, our society, you know, especially media, etc., has kind of shifted to sort of this lowest common denominator thinking, and that is the root chakra. Okay, it's all about materialism. It's all about the earth plane and what's happening here. But yoga helps us to elevate our consciousness from the me and us against them and all of that to the us, the global us, and then to the divine us. So yoga's about becoming more aware of our connection to the divine and ultimately the essence of our authentic self. When all of the external stuff drops away, when all of the things that we are not fall away, we're left with our authentic self, that which is beyond time and space and is eternal. So, kind of heavy, huh?